Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Come on!
Live from beautiful Mumbai. This is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host Raghunath and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kastuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Mumbai, Maharashtra. I'm here. I do my annual checkup, my annual physical. They check my blood, check my numbers, make sure I'm not dying. And it's also a little getaway for me and Mara because it's my birthday. Tomorrow's my birthday, everybody. You know where to send the presents. Kastuba did his little checkup the other day. He checked out fine. You know why? Kastuba is moderate. Moderate in your diet, moderate in your sleeping, moderate in your everything. You're just moderate. I'm an extremist, so I gotta be careful.
And any results yet?
No, I start tomorrow. I do it early tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna try to come back for the show, Bubba. I'm gonna try to make it back for the show.
No, that's a bit of a long shot, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yes, too.
Yeah. It's a long day in that hospital and different doctors on different schedules, and you're getting brought from this department to that department. And then they got to gather the information from earlier in the day and put it all together and print it all out. And then they sit you down and they give you the whole rigmarole.
Sounds like you have a replacement lined up. That's what it sounds like.
No, I wasn't sure. Actually, I wasn't sure if we were going to do it tomorrow. I wasn't sure we we're going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's already. You'll never make it back.
Yeah, we don't need. Yeah,
try.
you take your time there. Take your time.
You'll never make it back. Yeah. So,
but they're good doctors there.
Mara outfitted me today. She took me for some Christmas birthday presents. I got a new kurta, some new chulidars.
What about a vest?
I didn't get a vest this time. I just got some.
Oh, hold it!
chulidars.
You got those pants. Those
chulidars are like
I told you,
from the knees to the ankle.
I told you that is. I don't think you can pull that off. I've said that before.
I can. It's a good look. And a very long kurta. Yeah.
Very long. Make it very long. It doesn't matter what pants you're wearing. If it's longer, if your kurta is long enough, it doesn't matter what pants you're wearing.
Yeah. And it's just been nice. She's just been taking me out to like birthday things.
Look at
just
celebrating
life and love, Prabhu.
Little pomegranate juice out there, maybe on the street. Little street food.
You know what? They've got good fruit here in Mumbai.
Yeah.
But we're heading back tomorrow. And what have I been missing at the GEV? It was everybody's day off today.
I've been spending time with that Rick Jarreau, this scholar, kind of sadhu person.
Yeah, he's cool. He's very cool, and he lives near me too.
Upstate.
Yeah, he's one of those old Prabhupada disciples.
Yeah, wealth
Special
of experience, knowledge. We really enjoyed talking with each other, so I've been doing that. Been talking with Christian and Sham Nam, also very fascinating people. So just mingling a bit. It's a day off here, so just mingling a bit.
It's fun.
Attending the Yamuna Arti. They created a Yamuna River here, and it's so incredibly beautifully landscaped, as well as temple-scaped, I suppose you could call it, right? Like they've created little temples and in the evening, everyone goes and there's an authentic sandstone carved bathing ghat, that steps, the sandstone steps into the river, and everybody sits there and sings songs, and you really get transported. Really something.
The whole thing, and you and I have both had lots of meetings with Radhanath Swami lately, and I just feel like I'm in another realm after those meetings. I just
Yeah.
feel wow, he's just empowering everything to go forward, and he's got a powerful vision. Like, I just want to get caught up in his current. He's really encouraging us in Wisdom of the Sages. I'm really excited to see how all this stuff expands. And yeah, his vision for the Govardhan Eco Village is one of his many projects, and it is so tremendous. And it started off with nothing. It started off with a big, barren, stony field. And then he would tell us, well, we're going to have a Govardhan Hill over here. We're going to have a Vrindavan forest here. And nobody could make heads or tails of it. Then he's like, we're going to make an exact replica of the Madan Mohan temple in sandstone on this property. No one got it. And sure enough, January 1st, we were there. 22,000 people were there. And it's become like, he's created a holy place. And
Yes.
it's quite amazing. And people come from all over the world. And I will say it's the most peaceful and organized place and clean place in all of India.
Clean, lush, beautiful, quiet.
Oh,
And but beyond that, all of this, all of the beautiful spiritual aesthetics are combined with a very powerful, effective, dynamic presentation of how we can live more in harmony with nature. So it's got a very powerful eco element to it that's changing. You could, potentially little projects like this eventually can change the world. What we can say for sure is the 70 villages around this village are very directly and dynamically, feeling the effects of this place.
for sure. Can you hear me okay today? Somebody said I was muted.
I hear you.
You hear me okay?
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
cool.
maybe you need to turn up your mic a little. Maybe my mic is louder than yours. Turn
How's
the
that,
knob.
sir?
They'll let you know. Maybe I
Okay.
might got to turn mine down a
Yes,
little
because
bit.
Stuba is really loud. That's the
Okay.
feedback. It's the first time for it.
Maybe that's why. All right, we ready to go? Mara,
Yes,
got
sir.
announcements?
We are ready to go, and we got a good nugget here today.
What about Mara?
Kastuba's nugget. Kastuba's nugget.
What about Mara?
Oh, you got some
Announcements?
announcements, Miss Mara. Sorry. I always cut Miss Mara off.
It's okay. We got back to recovery group meetings at 1 and 9:30 Eastern time today.
That's it.
Mm.
Let's say tomorrow is like a possibility, but maybe it may not happen tomorrow. Can we maybe announce that at a certain point?
What?
Tomorrow's show.
Okay.
Okay. It's
May
a
or may not
possibility.
happen. We'll get the word out to you all.
Okay.
I'm also noticing that you're not the only one wearing new clothes today here. It seems that Mara has fancy.
No, Mara
moves
has
of
not been
shopping.
shopping.
Really? That's
I
all?
gotta twist her arm to get her to shop. She's just
Alright.
taking care of me. She's like really focusing on my birthday. She's very, very sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
She's wearing old stuff. Looks
Okay.
wonderful.
Nothing
Okay.
wrong with her getting some new stuff.
All right, so here we go. This is from Will Durant. Who's Will Durant?
Oh, very interesting guy. I did a little bit of research on him. Will Durant is an American historian and philosopher, best known for his 11-volume work called The Story of Civilization, which contains and details the history of Eastern and Western civilizations. Seems like a really, really thoughtful guy. And he visited India in the 30s, and he really kind of spoke out against the conditions that were created there and the nature of the British kind of takeover of India.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean that was just one detail in his life, but any case, seemed like a very thoughtful.
I'm really jealous of those who went to India in the old days.
Yeah,
You know, I just romanticize about it. Anyway,
Okay.
let's get on. I have tried to be impartial though I
That's what a
know,
historian has to do, right? They have to try
yeah,
to be
right.
impartial.
I've tried to be impartial, though I know that a man's past always colors his views and that nothing else is so irritating as impartiality.
Mm. I'm not
Want
sure
to
what he
chat?
meant, but I think you could take that a couple different ways, right?
How did you take that?
Well, he says, I've tried to be impartial, though I know a man's past always colors his views. Even that right there is important, right? He's saying that we have a past from our yogic point of view. We would say that our past means we move through time, we take in information through our eyes, through our ears, through our skin, through our
Mm,
tongue, through our senses. Especially what we take in through through our eyes and our ears, and and those impressions passing through different layers of the mind become stored in the subconscious mind, and therefore it, it's the very rare person whose views aren't colored by that experience, which
sure.
makes it difficult. It means to be impartial, and we can talk about the virtue of impartiality, right? But to be impartial is challenging. And so he's saying that's, it's I've tried to be impartial, though I know that a man's past always colors his views, and that nothing else is so irritating as impartiality. Perhaps what he means there is the challenge of it is irritating.
The challenge of it. That's how I took it too. It's like
Yeah.
it's hard to be objective when we're born a certain time, space, family, experience.
Yes. Our emotions
We
are
will,
tied into the experience.
yeah, yeah. And I think this is why a reoccurring theme in Bhakti teachings is very tolerant with others. That's a big one for us. Strict with ourselves, tolerant with everybody else. That's a
Mm.
reoccurring theme because if I really want to be objective, I have to be tolerant. I'm asked to be broad-minded. It's it, it's and instead of like going out there and trying to change everybody, I really got to work on sitting down and just first of all just viewing people and just seeing people as they are. And before I get pulled either way in what they're doing right or what they're doing wrong, first I got to see what am I actually doing? What's motivating me? Am I actually living up to my own expectations of everybody else? That's sort of how I came out of that. That's how I sort of take away from that
Yeah.
a little bit.
I looked up the word impartial,
Yeah.
and it said treating all rivals and disputants equally. And whether you want to call that irritating or I suppose there is a lot of irritation in doing that, because internally you feel like, what, this person should not, it should be recognized, the wrong that they've done me, or it should be recognized, their shortcomings compared to my own efforts, and so on, and it becomes
Sure.
irritating to be impartial. But I think, again, from the history, I think people like historians, journalists, although we live in a whole another world now, but traditionally those were fields where impartiality was like really valued, and it was, you were trained in the university to be impartial, that's what it means to be a journalist, right?
Mm,
Now it seems like, that's largely thrown out the door. Or what to
it's
speak of to
unfortunate.
be in, yeah, or what to speak of, like, to be in any field of justice, right? Particularly in courts, and so on, that like that is there, especially, right?
Mm,
Impartiality is so important. But we all feel we have our rivals, our disputants, our crazy Joe Davolas in life, and it's challenging to be impartial. But I think if you look at this from the perspective of the yogis, how they look at things, they say without that, you can't see truth. And truth is ultimately what sets you free, right? And
mm.
and, and so therefore it becomes essential to develop pure impartiality. And really the only way to do that, the yogis will say, right, is to see what's actually equal, to see what's actually sacred, to see what we all share and what we're all made of and what's the same in all of us, that lies underneath the externals, that lies underneath the body, that lies behind the mind, that with the confidence, the full confidence that back there is a being exactly made of the exact same stuff as me, just
Mm,
coming through a different filter. And the
mm,
filter may be pleasing or unpleasing to me, but
mm,
let me see that being behind everything. Yeah, obviously, on the external level, our social roles will call us to respond to different people in different circumstances in different ways. But at the same time, there's part of us, and maybe the most essential part of us, that's relating to that what's the same, to relating to this, to the spark of spirit, the
mm,
immutable, right? That part of us that can't be contaminated, that part of us that can't be corrupted, that's behind it all. And if we can see that, we can develop this spiritual impartiality and see every living being as a brother, as a sister, as
mm.
sacred.
It's
And
a,
that's going to
it's a
be the
tall
yeah.
order. It's a tall order. And in Bhakti
Yeah.
Yoga, we ask to raise the bar pretty high.
Yes.
We're asked to see a person beyond their present activities, even if even if they're behaving poorly. We're asked to see them with some great type of ability to be something greater. And when you hold someone in their brokenness or uh, uh, in their inappropriate behavior, they stay there. If you can deal with the person who is doing something crazy, and it's I use the example of the dog who's very cruel and bites, and they say, well, how do you correct a mean dog? They'll say, well, the dog's been beaten, so he's not good with children. How do you take care of a bad dog? You don't beat it more to discipline it. You actually have to love that dog. When you love the dog starts to change. And it's a little bit more difficult than just, listen, dog, I'm the new master, and here are the new rules. Because it's very easy to hate and discipline and check. And it's very difficult to take the longer way around and love. And that's how people change. And that's what we're asked to do. See something greater in a person, even those who are driving you nuts. And
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of appreciation lately, just being around Radhanath Swami. I was like, this man has repeatedly invested in me. I've repeatedly dropped the ball, I feel. And because of this, I feel like he's been sort of lifting me out of this moth-like state, or this caterpillar-like state, to become something more beautiful, like perhaps a butterfly.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's I feel
I've
like
been
he's
noticing you've
seeing
been
that
wearing a
in
lot
me.
of yellow lately, Raghunath.
Well, I'm trying to flutter.
Okay.
But this is
No,
what a
that's
good
fine.
teacher does, a good friend does, a good lover does. They try to see something great in you. And when you have people like that who do that for you, you feel so empowered. It's very easy just to lose all faith in yourself in this material world, because there's so many detractors. Even when you try to do something good, there's so many people taking you down. We need people, friends, teachers that are going to say, you know what? I believe in you. I think you got a great thing going. I think you can do this. And that's what makes a great friend. That's what makes a great teacher. They're empowering.
All
And
right.
that's due to impartiality. They deal with you with tolerance, love, and compassion.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Raghunath.
Thank you for tolerating, loving me, and being
No, I will
compassionate
always
to
love
me.
you, Raghunath, no matter how
Really?
annoyed I get.
Really? No matter what I do?
No matter how annoyed I get.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Annoying will always be
That's all
there.
you can ask for.
It's annoying will always be there, as long as you can love me, despite it. Just, okay, it's annoying, but I will love. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Help me become a butterfly, Kostuba. I believe in
Alright.
you. I actually love you. I was just telling
Oh, thank
Mara
you.
today. I was just telling Mara today. I love this guy, Kostuba.
Oh,
I really, yeah. I have a lot of appreciation. That's for the words I used.
oh, that's different than love.
All right, let's do this. Prabhu.
All right.
Om Namo Bhakti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivanarotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Madhurya. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, Unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome in the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyana Tamarandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Midatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes. With a torchlight of knowledge, I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. We got a new chapter for you.
We do.
New
Before you
canto
go,
for
I
you.
was just thinking it's really funny.
What you got? You got
What I
something
just
funny?
said, what I just said kind of reveals a little bit like Raghunath, and I've been a little annoyed with Raghunath lately. I've been a little upset about something, right?
Wait, what?
I'm saying I've been a little upset with you about something recently,
Oh, you
right?
have been?
You know that. I think,
What?
yeah. Is that why you kept bringing me
Is
sweets
he upset with
every
me?
morning?
No, I just saw a bunch of Maha sweets. And I was like,
All
it's
right.
so nice to get
Every
Maha and
morning?
give them to the devotees. I'm
All right.
oblivious. You're mad at me?
You hadn't picked that up.
I don't know. We were joking the other day.
All right.
You
Any
thought he was mad
case,
at me?
Yeah.
well,
I'm
that's
really
why
I'm really obtuse.
Mare
I don't
knows
know.
it. Mare
I'm
knows it, right?
sorry.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right, what did I do? You want to talk about it on the show? I'm okay.
I know. I
You
don't
can
want to
cover
get into it now. I can't believe you don't know that. In any case, don't worry about it. But the
I'm
funny thing
sorry.
was, I sent you this nugget. About an hour ago, an hour before the show, because I always send Raghunath the nugget before the show to read, like as like a WhatsApp text kind of thing. And this one read, "I've tried to be impartial, though I know that a man's past always colors his views."
So I was
And you were
reading it. I was reading. I was like,
thinking,
whoa, what's he saying to me? I didn't realize it was a quote.
yeah.
I've tried to be impartial, but I'm ready to kill you. Well, I apologize right now in front of everybody. I offer my obeisances to you. Please forgive me for my offenses.
I offer mine to you, right?
But that being said, I still want to know what it is. We can talk privately in a secluded place,
Okay.
holding pinkies. I'll listen to
We-
you.
I-
I will
I don't wanna
change
do
and
that.
become a better man. Then we'll embrace.
I don't want
Then
to
we'll
do that.
embrace. And I'll get a
Okay.
piece of maha and put it right in your mouth. And you can get it. Take a
Well,
bite.
anyway,
put it
this
in
is
my
real
mouth.
friendship. Is that even if you get annoyed, you love each other. So
Oh,
you get
thank
past it. You don't break. You never break it, right?
Okay.
I know
No,
you. I know you annoy you sometimes too. You
not
tolerate
so
me.
much. Not so much.
There are times. There are
I'm a little bit.
times.
It's okay. I'm a little bit more annoying than you, and that's okay.
So
I'm annoyed at myself. I annoy myself.
All right. All right. Before this turns into a whole thing, why don't we get into Baba Tom here?
Okay, so we're in a new canto. That's exciting. It's a new book.
New canto. That's huge. Yeah.
That's
It means we're halfway through. We've gone through six
Hmm.
cantos out of the 12. And I think even in terms of verses, we're pretty much in the middle now. So it took us 4 years to get halfway through.
Wow. Okay. Well, but the 10th canto is very, very big.
But the third and the fourth cantos are big.
Okay.
Right.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So like the third and the fourth cantos, each one of those is like an extra canto.
All right.
And then the 10th canto is like 4 cantos. So, and the 12th canto is very small. So it kind of evens out.
Does it even?
11th
out?
canto is
Okay.
kind of big.
I wonder if there's like a middle verse. I bet there is. Acharyas do
There
things
must-
like that.
There has to be. There has to be a middle
there
verse.
has to
Although,
be.
is it
Unless it's
particularly
odd or
significant for that
even.
reason? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you
in
know
the
that
middle of the Bhagavad Gita.
What is it? Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto, right? Is the
Yeah,
middle
yeah.
verse.
Always think of me, become my devotee. All the yeah.
What is that?
That's the central message. 934.
934.
Yeah. All right.
pretty
You
good
know
to know.
this. What
That's a
I
good
suggest.
trivia question, people. Middle verse. Everyone, that's everybody's homework today.
I
The
don't know
middle
if that's
verse
the
of the Bhagavad
middle.
Gita.
I don't know if like that's verse number 350 or 351 out of 700 verses. I'm not sure about that.
Oh.
But it's the middle in the sense that it's right at the seam or the cusp between the 9th and 10th chapters in an 18 chapter book. Right?
Okay. We're going to call that the middle.
So at least
I want
at least in
everybody
that
to read
sense,
that
it's
verse
middle.
today. 934. That's your homework. Read it 3
All right.
times, the verse over and over.
Now,
Okay.
now in this Raghunath, this isn't. It's interesting where we get started. This is a beautiful canto, and the main part of this canto will be the story of the great bhakti yogi, little boy bhakti yogi, Sri Prahlad.
Oh, little boy.
Also, like we are reading about Vritrasur in the previous canto, born in the family of the demons, right?
Okay.
Born in a family that is, what's the word I'm looking for? That is kind of like bent into animosity towards
Mm-hmm.
towards Vishnu.
Towards Vishnu and
Animosity
all the
towards Vishnu.
suras. Yeah. All the
Yeah,
big guys.
and yeah, animosity towards how the universe works. They're kind of against it, right? But when we read the previous canto, we should feel, when we discuss this many times, that the sixth canto is really demonstrating the distinction between pure devotion, pure love, pure bhakti, and
Mm,
bhakti that is mixed. And Indra is kind of the emblem of the mixed bhakta. And we
mm,
see in the end, throughout that canto, Indra is full of fear, envy, anger, confusion, you know. Um, and whereas Vritrasura, who had pure devotion, even though he
mm,
was in the demon family, even though he was fighting against the devas, he was fearless and free. He had no anxiety, he had no hangups, he had no anger, he had no envy. He had he was a free as a bird. And when we read that canto, we should feel like, how do I become free? Why
mm,
did Vritrasura get pure bhakti and Indra doesn't get it? How did Vritrasura develop that in his heart? And look at the results of his that freedom. Even he was born in the demon family. What does it take to get pure devotion? That's kind of going to be the theme of this canto, and it will play out, especially in the life of Prahlad. But it the canto is going to begin with this question about impartiality, because we've seen Indra is partial, right? He's got this. He's got this. Like, for instance, he needed a good priest to do his rituals so that he could get the power that he needed to maintain his position.
yeah.
And that priest, he was instructed. You'll find the right priest in Vishvarupa, young three-headed priest, born in the family of the demons. But he
Mm-hmm.
was he did his job, and he was impartial.
Mm,
Okay, you're born in a different family and a different lineage, kind of opposed to the one that I'm in, but I see you equally because I have that spiritual equal vision. If you're asking me for help, I will see how I can help you. And he does help Indra, and helps Indra very effectively.
mm,
But then once he saw it wasn't even betrayal, but then the asuras asked him for help, and he offered them some help too, because he helped someone when someone asked him for help. That's just how he saw the world. And Indra saw that, and being partial, Indra saw that as betrayal, and um, killed him. Right, killed him, and that set Indra into deeper um, entanglements, deeper states of confusion, deeper states of anxiety. And at the very end, we heard about how Vishnu protected the devas by killing the two most important of the asuras, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. That was mentioned in the last chapter that we read. And so now Maharaj Pariksit is going to turn to Sukadev Goswami, the speaker of the Bhagavatam, and he's going to say, well, it seems kind of like Vishnu takes the side of the devas, like he's playing favorites, like he's partial.
good question. Or good
Yeah.
comments.
And that question has a lot to do with, well, do the people that get the pure bhakti, do the people that become free of fear and free of anger and just become free in general, is the universe set up in a way that it's not impartial? Do some people just, due to no merit of their own, get special blessings and others don't? Because it seems like The Devas always get Lord Vishnu's favor. What's going on with that? So maybe
Mm.
you could read, Raghunath, the introduction to this canto or to this chapter,
Oh, sure.
and see what it said there.
Chapter 1,
The summary.
The Supreme Lord is equal to everyone.
Oh,
That's
there
the
you go.
title of it. In this chapter, in response to a question by Maharaj Prickett, Sukadeva Goswami gives his conclusions concerning how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although the Supersoul, friend, and protector of everyone, killed the Daityas, the demons, for the sake of Indra, the king of heaven. In his statements, he totally refutes the arguments of the people in general who accuse the Supreme Lord of partiality. Sukadeva Goswami proves that because the body of the conditioned soul is infected by the three gunas, or the three qualities of nature, dualities arise such as enmity and friendship, attachment and detachment.
Why don't we
For this-
pause there for a moment?
Mm.
That was an important statement, right? Because the body of the conditioned soul, that means most of us who are affected by the externals, our minds become programmed by external stimulus.
Sure.
And he uses the word, we become infected by these three qualities: goodness,
Sure.
passion, and ignorance. Or we could say, what were the terms that we used? We were talking about using illumination. Was it attachment, illumination, attachment, and delusion?
Passions, delusion. I like that.
Yeah.
Sort of reframing it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we become infected by those qualities as
Mm.
we encounter them. They seep into our subconscious mind. So then, because of that, and only because of that, dualities arise, such as enmity and friendship, attachment and detachment. If we were beyond that, if our minds and bodies were immune to the effects of the qualities that are radiating from every external material object, this
Sure.
illusion and delusion and attachment, then we would have, it wouldn't be like we had, that person's my friend, that person's my enemy, I'm inclined towards this person, I'm not inclined towards that person. That wouldn't
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
But because we are, but the point's going to be made here is that Vishnu or Krishna isn't conditioned like us. It's even like, the point's always made that he's the one behind the three modes of material nature. In other words, he's the programmer of this universe. So if I'm a programmer and I program a computer, it doesn't mean I become affected with what I just downloaded on my computer.
It's like the
If
warden
I'm
will
living
walk
in the
into-
computer, yeah,
the
then that's
warden will
another
walk
thing.
into the prison. The warden will even put himself in a cell to look around the cell, but the warden can
Yeah.
leave anytime he wants.
He's
So
set up
Krishna's
the
that
prison.
warden.
He runs the prison. Yeah.
Yeah. And we get born
Okay.
with different proclivities, likes and dislikes. I'm a cat person. She's a dog person, stuff like that. You know, we're going to be
Partiality.
different. Yeah, we're going to be partial. And that's part of our limited scope of
Are you
vision.
nicer
And
to your cats than you are to your dog?
well, I've changed. I've learned to love
Okay.
my dog. I've learned to love my dog despite, they're a little dirtier. They're a little dirtier.
No, those
And they're a little
cats, they're
messier.
dirty too. They're dirty.
Cats are they're not. Their cats are
They're
just
licking
plain
themselves. Their whole
They're
bodies
cruel.
like all the
No,
time.
dogs are licking themselves.
Cats
That's
go on
true.
litter boxes, then jump on countertops and stuff. It's
At least they
Yeah,
bury. At least they bury.
dogs don't get on counters.
They
Dogs
could
are
if they
in the
would.
kitchen.
They could if they would.
They would if they could.
They would. They could if they would. Anyway,
right.
just see, we're debating this subject. And I know
Yeah,
that the
partiality.
Zoom viewers are always, I see cats on the screen right now. I see dogs on the screen. It's because we're all covered by these gunas.
See, Tracy Conway is saying indoor cats are cleaner, but they lick their entire body all day.
Well, that's why they're clean.
Okay, that's what
They,
gotcha.
they don't lose their,
That's why
they
they're
don't lick
clean.
their genitalia. That's dog business.
All right.
All right, Krishna, I didn't need to hear that at
All
6
right.
a.m. Didn't need that visual. Okay.
Okay, let's go back to Sri
Let's keep it going.
Prabhupada's
My point is
summary.
we're all trained with likes and dislikes.
That's
And
a
Vishnu is
fact.
not trained like that. It's
No.
not like, yeah, these are the people that like me. They like me. They're like me. There's other people that don't like me. There's other people that are not like me.
Okay.
All right, back in.
For the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
For For the Supreme
You can't
Personality
find
of
it?
Godhead,
Okay.
however, there are no such dualities. Even eternal time cannot control the activities of the Lord. Right? We're subject to time. I'm about to be 58 tomorrow. I'm as cool and independent as I think I am. I am under the control of the factor of time. And if I don't
Mm,
believe it, I got to go up to one of those, what are those mirrors called in the bathroom that magnifies everything? What are those called? I
magnifying
call them the
mirror.
honesty mirrors. They're like, this is what you really, you think you're gonna look, this is what you really look like, sir. You don't even want to look at my nose up close. My nose is like disgusting. Up close,
Right.
like right now. You guys, I'm pulled back from the screen. It's just like, oh, he's a nice shadow there.
And I put that filter on, that touch up my appearance filter.
Oh, that's right. When I was going through your thing, Mary had the touch-up filter cranked up.
I don't use
But
the
that's
touch-up
why
filter.
it's not because no, you do. Mary does it. That's what you don't know that when Mary cranks the
Okay.
thing. I've been always wondering why is like when we do the thumbnail, when I make the thumbnail for the Q&A
Yeah.
episodes.
Why is
I'm like,
Raghunath's
why
skin
does
so clear?
He's got a good camera. What no, why is his picture so like distorted, you know? No, I know.
That's not distortion. That's my face.
No, that's the filter. That's the filter.
Okay. Anyway, the
Smoothing it
point
all out.
being is we're subject to the time factor. No matter how strong we are, no matter how wealthy we are,
Okay.
no matter how independent we are, we're little slaves to the time factor. Time is a real thing within the three material modes of nature.
Right.
It's the
Okay.
Bhakti is the fountain of youth, my friends.
Okay.
Isn't it? It's the fountain of youth.
It's the
Who
real
was
one.
it? Americo Vespucci was looking for the fountain of youth. We found it
You should have gone
right here.
the other
You
way. Went
don't
to
die.
Florida.
You don't age.
You don't go
you're
to Florida
eternal.
for that.
Yeah. You got to go to Alachua at High Springs to go in those springs in Florida. That's what we thought you could drink it. It's not. You got to chant it. And then you're not of this body any longer.
Okay. All right, let's continue.
Continuing on, even eternal time cannot control the activities of the Lord. Eternal time is created by the Lord, and it acts under his control. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, therefore, is always transcendental to the influence of the modes of nature, Maya, the Lord's external energy, which acts in creation and annihilation. Don't you want to get up on a hill and just scream this stuff? We've got valuable information here.
Over here.
Thus, all the demons killed by the Supreme Lord attain salvation immediately. Yeah, I feel like getting on the top of a hill and saying, we've got some secrets of the universe you're all looking for. They're right here, contained information, a treasure chest of valuable info to transform your life.
Why don't you go out on the streets of Mumbai and try that today? Just let it go.
Just let it
Get
go.
up on a soapbox.
Like John the Baptist or something.
Yeah.
He was like that.
That's who I think that's who those kind of street preachers model themselves after. Is John the Baptist.
Oh, after John the Baptist, not John.
Yeah, because he was the one saying, repent, you know.
Repent.
Okay, the second question.
The second question raised by Parikshit Maharaj concerns how Shishupal, although inimical towards Krishna from his very childhood,
Shishupal?
Shishupal was the one in the Rajasuya sacrifice when Yudhisthira, Arjuna's older brother, performed this very
I don't know. Everything you said, I think, is going to make it harder to understand.
Okay. When
Shishupal was at the Rajasuya sacrifice, and Yudhisthira.
hear me out here, people. When Yudhisthira, Arjuna's older brother, performed this very big ritual to claim his emperorship and to worship Krishna as the guest of honor, he invited all the lower kings. He was the emperor. All the lower kings from all over Bharatvarsh, all over India, to come and to pay some tribute, some taxes, actually. And they came in respect. But when Yudhisthira
It was
worshiped
asking them to
Krishna,
contribute to the ritual, in a sense.
sure, and that's what you do, and it's sort of to keep diplomacy with the emperor.
Yeah.
And everybody did it. All of the Yudhisthira's big followers did it.
Rivals.
And there were some big people that were his rivals that still did it because they didn't want to cause any schism. But when Yudhisthira started worshiping Krishna as the guest of honor, that's when some people got angry, because some people, especially the demonic kings, did not see Krishna as who he was, which was the Lord of all the demigods, the father, the father of the universe. They just saw him as some puny prince. And so when everybody started worshiping Krishna as the guest of honor, Shishupal was the first to stand up and say, "How dare you worship this cowherd? If you wanted to worship someone who is a great, powerful king, there's many powerful kings here. If you wanted to worship someone who's people great in knowledge, Vyasadeva is here. If you wanted to worship one of the elders, and they list one person after the other, but to worship this lowly
anybody but
Krishna,
Krishna.
anybody but Krishna." And he got furious, and Krishna waited and waited and waited, and then Krishna stood up, listed all of Shishupal's crimes, because he had some serious issues. He had a track record himself, and then he manifested his Sudarshan chakra and threw it.
What's a
at
Sudarshan
Shishupal.
chakra?
Sudarshan chakra is a weapon of Lord Vishnu that Krishna manifested, and he threw
Like
it.
a mystic discus.
A mystic
very sharp
fiery
and hot.
disc, and it sliced the head off of Shishupal. Now everybody thinks, "Oh, how horrible! A bloodbath and a religious ritual." Don't sweat it. When Krishna kills a demon, what happened? Everybody visibly saw the soul leave his body, like some energetic force leave and enter into Krishna's body. And so that soul was liberated. Shishupal was liberated, even though he was killed by Krishna. Anybody killed by Krishna is liberated immediately. That's one reason why Krishna is impartial. So
well, that's part of the evidence that will be brought up. And yet, you're telling me that Krishna is impartial, and it's true. I see that even when there are people that are dead set against him, and even when it comes down to a fight, and even when Krishna kills them, we all witnessed, because usually you can't see this kind of thing, but everybody could kind of see the soul, like a spark of light, go out of Shishupal's body and enter into Krishna's form. They're like, whoa, what was that? That was something very special. He treated him, he gave him liberation. He gave him something special, even his rival.
Okay, I've got a trivia question for any uninitiated devotee listening on Zoom. How many insults did Shishupal throw at Krishna before Krishna cut off his head? That is my trivia question. Ooh, Maya got it. 100. No, you were good the first time, Maya.
Yeah.
Ayush Pandey got it
came
too.
a little late. Isabel a little late.
Good job, Isabel Bilodeau. You guys are good.
You knew the answer. You just didn't type as quickly.
Yes.
Got to hit
Second
that buzzer.
question raised. Okay, the second raised by Cricket Mars concerns how Shishupal, although inimical towards Krishna from his very childhood, and always blaspheming Krishna, attained salvation in oneness when Krishna killed him. By the way, I'm very excited to read H.T. Goswami's reenactment of this story in his big Mahabharata he's translating, because I'm hoping it will list every insult, because they're actually quite funny. The insults that Krishna gets are Shishupal.
You think it lists all 100 are there?
I think I've seen versions where they list all 100 insults. And one of them is, you think you're so important because you lifted a little clump of dirt, like Govardhan Hill. Oh, you think you're so powerful because you killed a little duck, which was Bakasura. Things like that. It's just like whatever somebody does, a person who's envious sees it as puny. No big deal.
Right.
So Shishupal was always envious of Krishna, even from his childhood.
Right.
Sukadeva Goswami explains that because of their offenses at the feet of the devotees, the two attendants of the Lord in Vaikuntha, named Jai and Vijay, became Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha in Satya Yuga. That's the first age, of the age of truth, right? Then they got killed, and they were rebirthed as Ravana and Kumbhakarna in the next Yuga. In Treta Yuga, I'm sorry. And then in Dwarpa Yuga, they got born as Shishupal and Dantavakra at the end
So
of
in
Dwarpa
different
Yuga.
ages, they took the forms of different asuras, they took birth in different demon lineages.
And every time they were killed by Lord Vishnu, because of the fruitive acts, Jai and Vijay agreed to become the Lord's enemies And when killed in that mentality, they attain salvation in oneness. Thus, even if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in envy, he attains salvation. What then is to be said of devotees who always engage in the Lord's service with love and faith? Kostuba, have you ever met a person who became a devotee from hating the devotees?
I know I have.
I met someone too. He used to like throw things at them and be cruel to them, and he ended up becoming a devotee.
So many funny stories. There's that one, not exactly someone that hated the voice, but there was that person that I know in Russia there were like KGB agents who were focused on taking down the devotees, and they became devotees.
Oh, really?
I
I
know
never heard
that.
that.
Yeah, and I know that in the old Brooklyn Temple on Henry Street, I may have mentioned this on the show before, but there was one of those back in the 70s, like, you go buy these books at the drugstore, right? I think they call them like drugstore
Oh, yeah.
books or something like that. And
Yeah, we talked
just
about
like,
that on the show.
yeah, it was like an
Little tiny
expose.
book pamphlets things.
It wasn't even a pamphlet, it was like a real book.
It's
Just
like a
like a
mini
paperback
type of book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was one about what?
It, about a woman kind of posed as like, oh, I want to join up and get involved in this, young lady. And so she moved into the temple and lived there in the ashram with everyone.
She
And
was an undercover reporter or something.
she was an undercover reporter doing an expose. And
Mhm.
but even as she's writing the expose, she's like kind of getting into it. She kind of like almost kind of fully gets into it. You know?
That's the problem
And
with bhakti yoga.
it-
It's too
it's-
good.
suck you in.
It's good. You
Okay.
get sucked in. You get
You
sucked
too.
in. If the food doesn't
Yeah.
suck you in, the music sucks you in, the rituals suck you in. Hey, we wear
People.
flower garlands a lot. Who else does? No,
Yeah.
hardly anybody wears flower garlands. You go to
Is that what it
Hawaii
was
on a
for you?
business trip, you might get a flower garland. Otherwise, we're doing flower garlands all the time.
Yeah. All the time.
All the time.
But I think we're out of time,
Spices.
Raghunath. I can't believe it.
We didn't even start talking yet. We're into spices, right? We're into other worldly things. UFOs we talk about like on the regular. UFOs,
Yeah.
higher beings, ghosts,
Something for everyone.
astrology, gems.
These are the
We
things
talk
that
about-
you're into, Raghunath. Not everybody. You're into
not
all
me,
these things.
not me, my friend. Bhagavatam. You too.
Okay.
You too are into it.
Hey, I wanted to say a little prayer today because, in all different places in the world, whether it be in the Middle East, in Israel, Gaza, in Ukraine, and now, just yesterday, things broke out in Ecuador. Like all these. You hear about that? In Ecuador, they
Oh,
busted
God.
loose some gangster, and they take over the prisons, and they busted loose all these prisons, and these gangs are just running wild. They busted onto like some television set live and just like took the whole thing over. And Chapuji, who lives there, she was saying,
Chapuji's in Ecuador?
yeah, and she
Oh,
heads up like a whole staff of people in her office, and she
Is
had
she
to let
safe?
them all get out. She's here with us today, so she must be.
Wait,
she must
she's
be,
in
but-
India?
No, she's on.
Oh.
No, she's here with us on the
Okay,
show today.
Get to India right now, Chapu.
Get to India.
Get out of
Get
there.
out of that
Are
place.
you kidding?
But it's staying. The streets are getting violent and everything.
Oh
in
my
Ecuador.
God.
So
I'm
all around
sick
the
of-
world, we have
I'm sick of
listeners
cruel
in-
people.
Yeah. So anyway, our thoughts are with you and with everyone in any place in the world that's listening to us that's living in difficult circumstances.
Oh boy. Now I'm
All right.
depressed. Cheer me up, Kostuba. Mara, give me a takeaway.
Well,
Make
it's your
me happy.
birthday. It's your birthday
My
tomorrow,
birthday.
right?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
58
Any
years
takeaways,
old.
Mara?
Yeah. All right, I got some good takeaways.
I should call my mom, shouldn't I? My birthday, I should call my mom.
Yep.
Thank
Fine.
her.
For giving birth.
Yeah.
Maybe we
He's
can
probably
recall
tolerated
the-
a lot too, Raghunath.
Maybe we can recall.
I think I should talk to
the-
your mother and Mara. I think me, Mara, and your mother should all get together and be like, "Yeah, my God, I love him, but
Mara
God,
is tolerant like a tree. Oh my God. Maybe we should bring my mom on the show to talk about the birth story and how Christ visited
We've done
her.
that, Raghunath.
She
We've done
has no
that
recollection
before.
of.
She does.
She didn't
remember.
recognize it.
How
No
dare you
recollection.
too?
That was a
Trying to
tampered
snuff out that.
witness. That was a tampered witness.
She's like, I don't remember anything like that. But then when she came back after a while, she had a different story. I think she got
You guys are
influenced by-
messing with miracles. She's an old lady. Sometimes she forgets things.
That's the
Speak-
point.
Speaking of tolerance, be
Sometimes
strict with
remembers things
ourselves.
too.
Be strict with ourselves and tolerant with others.
That's the
Yes.
thing.
Develop pure impartiality to see truth.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay, that's necessary.
Bhakti yoga asks us to raise a bar high.
Raise the bar.
Love the mean dog to change its behavior.
Love it. Don't beat it. That's not going to make him change.
See greatness in the people that drive you nuts. Hello.
You're very great. Raghunath.
Hello, my
You are so great.
We all know how great you are.
I'm seeing the greatness.
Love my obtuseness.
No matter how strong and independent we are.
You see, he thought I was trying to like bribe our friendship with Maha sweets.
Totally.
I was giving
Suddenly
freely
he's
from
showing
the,
up at my door every morning with Maha sweets.
because I saw Maha sweets. I was like, how nice it would be to offer them to advanced devotees.
All right.
Offered you
Thank
and
you.
Tara and Doyal and Cindy.
I was thinking,
Offered them.
I was thinking, this guy, he thinks you can just like, he thinks you just give a few sweets and you forget about everything. What kind of manipulation is this?
Oh my God. See, you didn't see my heart.
All right.
Now I'm hurt. Now I'm offended. I'm offended at you. Okay. There we go.
Maybe
There we
I'll just
go.
give you some
Two can
sweets and then
play
you'll
at
forget
this
all about
game.
it.
I'm in the middle of my takeaway. I was in the middle of a sentence. No matter how strong and independent we are, we're subject to the time factor.
Ouch.
That's right.
Bhakti is the fountain of youth.
Really is. That's all I got right now.
An envious person can see all feats as puny.
Yeah. They can even see my feet as puny.
And
Mm.
Vishnu isn't trained as a cat person or a dog person.
Very good.
No,
That was a good.
Vishnu loves the cats and he's in the heart of both the cats and the dogs.
And the likers of, yes, he loves them all. Okay, everybody, I am about, if you're not on my mailing list, get on my mailing list, go to raghunath.yoga, get on that mailing list, get on Wisdom of the Sages mailing list. This should be your mail in your, you know what I'm talking about. Be on those mailing lists. I'm about to announce we're going on an India pilgrimage back to back with a Nepal pilgrimage this year in October, November. If you're if that tickles your fancy on the mailing list, you will find out about it. I'll also put on Instagram at Raghunath Yoga. No. Who am I? I'm Raghunath Yogi. Did you see that video of me giving the book to Ramaswamy? You were there. You didn't have to see the video.
There you go.
You stop following me now on Instagram.
I was
because
too
you're mad at me?
annoyed to look at videos of you.
You're like, hide this video from Raghunath. You didn't want to unfollow me because that was too big of a statement.
I was gonna start a like a ghost kind of account and start like
Is that right?
thumbs
Troll
down.
Are you like a
Troll.
Russian bot? Anyway, it was nice. I gave the first copy to Raghunath Swami.
That's wonderful.
That was very special.
That must have been a special moment.
It was a special moment. Special moment.
That Indian gentleman we're looking at like, oh, the monk. He's looking very strange on the cover.
The cover is looking like some asura. Some
Were you
demon.
okay?
It
Were
is
you okay
changing
in
your
this
mind.
photograph?
It is very, very demonic.
Because you got a
face.
special expression on your face.
Did you kill this demon? I said, no, that's me. That's me. And I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress, sir. What'd you say, punk?
Say, flip it over. It has a picture of Raghunath as a punk on the front and as a monk on the back.
Even a monk. Work in progress. Well,
Hey.
Hey, we got the Wisdom of the Sages dates for Wisdom of the Sages at Super Soul Farm this summer. What's our we're gonna do Columbus Day, and we're gonna do. I got it. We're gonna send out an
Check
email.
with me on that before you set the dates. Did you?
Oh, we got him. I gotta check with you before I tell everybody.
Okay. Have a happy birthday. So we'll get the word out whether we have a show tomorrow. I'm kind of thinking no.
Yeah, I'll make.
Why don't we
it
just say
back.
no?
You got
No show
some plan. You're bringing in some replacement. I cannot be replaced.
I can't. That's my point. I can't do it without you, right? So no show tomorrow.
Oh. Well, I might make it back.
You'll never make it back in time. If you want to keep it hanging, if you want to see if you can get back in time, okay. So we won't say no yet. We'll put the word out.
And we're having special dinner tomorrow. Special dinner, birthday dinner, birthday desserts. Kumi's here. Kumi's group is here. I hang with them. California.